Hello everyone and welcome back to new Pokémon Snap. In the last episode we unlocked Aurus Island, the final island, and we unlocked Illumina orbs here, and I kinda stank at opening up a puzzle that was supposed to be here. What a great shot of a Houndoom that is. This episode I am going to be just heading inside and opening that immediately. So that's why we're starting right the fuck away inside the island itself. Let's go. Oh, a chandelier! That's new. We're on research level 2 here, so of course we're going to see some stuff we've not seen in the past, including a chandelier from the back. There we go. Right, let's hit these orbs. Not orbs, let's hit these flowers with orbs. Right, that's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And then with all of them activated, we have this. All 5 flowers activated here. I was just a bit too slow on this last time because I was too busy pointing out other shit. Hit the one in the center here. And that will activate this Golurk, who will then move out of the way. You can slow down the movement of the 0-1 by zooming in. And with him moved out of the way... That's not what I expected to happen. There we go, so the energy from all the islands gathers here. And there we go, we will turn and head towards the glowing beam of light. I could have done this at the end of last episode, I just didn't for dramatic reasons.
Looks like the ruins have come to life. Energy from each island seems to be flowing upward. It looks like that'll take you up. So up we go. I'll set up a teleportation point at the top. Why don't you come back to camp for a bit?
So, with that, there are a few Pokemon we can submit, not a lot, but there we go. The Chandelier is a new one, and then I think that's basically it. Well, both those photos are crap, but that one's slightly better. Better Houndoom.
Nice work.
Better Eldegoss.
Nice work.
Marginally better Salandit. It's very much increments of the same exact shot, the same exact individual there. Chandelier is new. It's from the back, and it's not great, but there we go. It's silver. I was expecting bronze. Anyway, what we're really interested in is not these achievements, but there you go. Elevator of Light. Ghost Collector. And with that, he's got something to reveal to us, so let's head back to the lab.
Now then.
Looks like now's the moment we've been waiting for. If I'm reading the topography correctly, this ought to take you straight to the center of the ruins through the gate we saw at the beginning.
Ooh.
That's where we'll find the Pokemon that was in the middle of the others in the mural, right?
Yep.
Right. After this, we may finally get all this. We might finally get to meet it.
Yep.
And I think we all know you're the one to handle that moment.
Whatever.
Yeah, of course you get all the fun. You better get some good photos.
Have fun.
Say hi to the Illumina Pokemon for me.
Huh.
I can see in your eyes that you're ready. That's the spirit. Good luck out there. Keep your chin up and your camera ready. So, with that, we have unlocked a new area. Within the Ruins of Remembrance, we have the Aurus Illumina spot, our final Illumina spot in the game. Let's roll. This episode will technically complete the main story, but there is a shit ton of post-game stuff, including 3 new courses, 5 if you count times of day. So don't worry, there's still a lot to do, and there's a lot of Pokemon we haven't got, so we'll still be going for a while, don't you worry.
Looks like that's the source of the reading, but it's very faint. What is that anyway? Incredible! This reading is off the charts! That was it. The final Illumina Pokemon we've been searching for. Go get him.
So, presumably you recognize that as a bloody version mascot, but either way, yes, this is the last Illumina Pokemon and therefore the final boss. It spends its time kind of going around in a blob, and we've got to hit it, I believe, with Illumina Orbs to smash it out of being a blob. I'm going to use the boost quite a lot in here, because otherwise there is just a lot of waiting around for you to actually get a chance to do anything with it. There's your moment. You've got to wait for it to hover. Yes, I'd figured that out, Professor, but thank you. It's quite hard to hit while it's moving. There we go. We actually did nail it. But I believe it takes a couple of shots before it will crystallize. There we go. Once Xerneas has crystallized, hit it a couple of times. Wow. Well, we'll take some shots there. There we go. It is in the Illumina state there. Brilliant. But you can only shots of it that are taken while it is in the Illumina state count. So you need to use orbs to break it out of being a blob. And then you also, on top of that, need to still put it into the Illumina state once it is in its non-blobbed form. So it's got an extra level of nonsense above. It's like there, it's real, but it's not in the Illumina state, and it's hiding in that bloody pillar as well. You can also use Crystal Blooms to this effect. If I were to hit this one and it's near it, obviously that will get it to go into the Illumina state more easily, but it's gone into the Illumina state there, which is good. What is this scan saying? Up there. Ah, there's a complete version of the mural. You can take a picture of the ancient ruins because it's cool to see. Xerneas is in the middle of that one, which is perhaps unsurprising. There you go, it's feeding on the Crystal Bloom there. If it was lit, that would have been a great photo. There we go. But yes, so Xerneas is the core of the Illumina Pokemon. Makes sense. I'd figured, the first time I played this, the Illumina Pokemon that was at the core, protected stuff from a meteorite. I had strongly figured it was going to be Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh has that kind of phoenixy energy. And Ho-Oh is in this game, don't worry. One of the things, and we'll get to this in the coming episodes, one of the things that you unlock in the game, in the post-game, is a lot of legendary Pokemon that only appear in certain levels and only appear after you've kind of completed the game. So Ho-Oh, Lugia, both in this game, Shaman, Celebi, Suicune. There are many legendary Pokemon that are yet to appear in the game.
What just happened?
Let's talk about it once you're back.
And there we go. It seems to respond to us. It's only when we're there that it kind of turned into its real form, and then it goes back into being a tree to wait, I suppose. But anyway, obviously there's only one photo on there, which is of course Xerneas. I don't believe we got the 4-star, but we will see. We got a 3-star, which is pretty good. That of it feeding on the Crystal Bloom itself is a 3-star. And then of course we have got Ancient Ruins, so let's submit those. Gotta do that. No, not that way. I actually want to submit that one, which is the Xerneas at the center, because it gets the right feeling. So, Xerneas, of course, is a new species. Xerneas? I've always called it Xerneas. I've never heard its name said out loud. I'm probably wrong. I always sound with Pokemon. But hey, that gets a crystal, and that is, by a huge margin, our best photo ever. We've only got 5,000 before, and that was 5,600. And some more Ancient Ruins. Shockingly. And that, of course, brings the Illumina spot up by a level.
All right.
And that gets us some title achievements. That gets us Brief Awakening for Awakening Xerneas. And, by the way, there's some more stuff going on back at the lab.
Wow.
I knew it! We were right to believe there was another Illumina Pokemon. The mural was spot on. Yes, which raises the question. Did things really happen the way the mural depicts them? Maybe Xerneas called out to the others for help. So they could make a barrier or something to stop the meteorites. A barrier big enough to cover the whole Lental region. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's gotta be what happened.
Yeah.
That'd mean the people who built the ruins long ago helped the Illumina Pokemon too.
No.
But the meteorite came 2,000 years ago. Shouldn't Xerneas have awakened long before now? I think stopping the meteorite probably just took everything it had. So much that it's still tired even after a 2,000-year nap.
So,
When do you think that mural was made anyway? Wait, what?
also,
And who do you think made it?
well...
Wait. Why is it you were able to meet those Illumina Pokemon?
You guys get it, right?
Get what?
Of course.
So obvious.
It's so simple. Do you really not know, Professor? Pokemon can tell when someone really loves them. And they return that love right back. Right?
That must be from a study I haven't read yet.
We have got to get you out of the lab more often.
Well, it's a bit of a naff ending, but what would a Pokemon game be without the kind of like, you know what makes you different is the fact that you love and care for your Pokemon. Like, that's the thing in all the main series games, is they always have that thing of like, that's why you were able to beat your rival. So this would normally be the end. As I say, of the post-game levels, all of them actually are DLC, other than maybe one. But we will kind of get to that. But we have still got quite a lot. Of the 235 species in the game, we have only photographed 184, so that means there's about 50 more to go. And of those, we've also only got 16 4-star photos, and I intend to get all 235 as 4-star photos as well. So it's going to take a bit of a different feel from now on. I'm going to show off the remaining levels, and there is a kind of like... so we'll be showing off the remaining levels as well as the alternative routes through all the levels that we haven't got yet. That is going to be a bit more kind of traditional. And then once we've kind of photographed every... And then that'll hopefully bring us up to our research levels as high as they need to be to actually photograph all the other Pokemon. Some of those are legendary ones where you have to focus a little bit harder on actually unlocking them, especially for their 4-star behaviors, but we'll kind of do that. For getting the 4-star behaviors, I'm going to have to be quite methodical with that, and that's going to require a more of an edited approach. So kind of once we've gone through and got all of the 1-stars from just kind of playing through naturally, then I will basically thoroughly go through each level and demonstrate exactly how to get all the 4-stars. But in some cases, you're only going to get, you know, 1 or 2 of the 20 Pokemon in areas 4-star on one run. So it's going to be a slower kind of process, so it is going to be a little bit more kind of cut down. It's been a lot of fun though. Even where we're at the moment, which is kind of the halfway point in a sense. We'll be more than halfway through the episodes, but it's halfway for me in terms of the timer for recording, but there we go. But I really like the fact that this game's got a real story. The whole thing of like discovering the Illumina Pokemon, and like, are these my photos, I think? That definitely feels like my melodic. But yeah, the fact that you've got this story about the Illumina Pokemon, that you're kind of like finding through the thing. You've got this ancient mystery of the Telio meteorite. Those are definitely my photos, because that's Mike also like, ow, punches the microphone quite hard. But yeah, that's really... nice. Like, the first Pokemon Snap had a story in a sense, kind of. You played each level, you got the Pokemon signs, and then you fought Mew. It certainly had something to accomplish, but this game feels like it really actually has got a story to it, which I really like, and I like how it's just got a really different feel to a lot of the other Pokemon games. Like, the main series Pokemon games always have the, team who's up to no good, legend who may or may not have been involved in either the creation or salvation of the region in which they're found. You've got all that kind of stuff. We're kind of going through each of the islands, by the way. We've done Florio, Bellasilva, and Maricopia. We're now having a little look at Volcura, and it's showing kind of our best shots of it. But yeah, it's a cool way of showing, like, the Illumina Pokemon and Xerneas together, kind of the legendary Pokemon and what they do. I really feel in this game, more than any other Pokemon game, you do kind of like, you discover that yourself. The feel of kind of like research and exploration is really cool in this game, honestly. It's one of the things I really like about this game. That, and the fact it is just kind of very relaxing to play. I really like, I guess maybe that just comes from Xenoblade Chronicles, which is obviously a huge amount of like planning and prep and notes for each episode. This is really nice because I can just sit down of an evening and record some. And I don't have to think or plan or do anything like that. I can just be like, hey, let's do this. I've got some notes I've been making as I go along, but that's more like, if I unlock level 2 of Volcua Sands day and then don't do it and go on to do Volcua Sands level 1, I'll make a note to myself to remember to come back to Volcua Sands level 2 because I haven't done it yet, and that's how I've been able to also like do my thing of not doing the same level twice in a row, because there's always been kind of something else to do. This is probably in some ways going to be the level that's got the episode, I think, that's got the least content in it, just because all we have done in this one is Aurus Island twice. So a little bit of a lighter one, but that's because next one's going to be very heavy, because as I say, we've got a lot of stuff. There's Durais Island, because we've got a lot of stuff unlocked now. And I believe, I'm actually genuinely going to check this now, Pokémon Snap DLC. Because definitely a lot of the post-game stuff is DLC, but I think it's not technically all of it. So we've done some of the DLC already, though we haven't finished it. There are still a few more Pokemon to get. The Secret Side Path is DLC. Then we've got, there is Mighty Wide River, which is a fun one. That's got both a day and a night. Then there is the Volcua Badlands, which has a day and a night mode. And then I think that is it, yes. So in the normal game, there was one post-game level, as well as the legendary stuff. So there is, the only one I mentioned is Maricopa Reef Evening. So we've got Beach Day and Night, and then we've had Reef Day, and then we've got Reef Evening, which you only unlock by beating the game. But as I say, there are some legendary Pokemon as well, and just a fair few Pokemon we have still yet to get. I think the DLC levels have about 20 Pokemon, and then there's about another 10 on Reef Night, and then the others are just distributed about the levels that we've done so far. I'm just kind of glancing through the list now, looking at Legend as well, so that's... depends what you count as a legendary Pokemon, I guess, in a sense. But definitely 1 there, 2, 3... Oh, I didn't remember that one, isn't it? 4... 5, 6. Does Manaphy count? Oh yeah, Manaphy counts. It's just Manaphy clones into Fume that doesn't. 7. Yeah, we got. I think I might just after I've shown off all of the DLC and post-game levels at least once and kind of got them up a little bit, I will just, I think, devote an entire episode to Legends where we'll just focus on getting legendary Pokemon, because they're all a little complex. Generally, you have to have brought their levels up to 2 or 3. And you gotta do some real specific things. Think more complex versions of what we did with the Sandslash and Durais Islands. Anyway, thank you everyone, and with that, thank you viewer for watching this so far. It's been a lot of fun. We aren't over yet, but we are over for this episode. Unless there is anything else, which there is! This has been one eventful survey, huh? It sure has. One that took us to every corner of Lental. None of it would have happened without the 3 of you. I can't thank you all enough for your hard work. We found even more topics Bane to be studied. Well, I'm sticking around to help. I was hoping you would. And I'm sure your research is just getting started. Speaking of which, weren't you going to explain your new idea, Professor? Oh yes, I was going to tell you about course scores. They're a system I've devised to better how thoroughly you can research a course in a single outing. Quality counts here, but so does quantity. Try to photograph as many Pokemon as possible. If you use the online internet feature, you can see your ranking for course scores too. And wasn't there one more piece of good news?
Yeah.
Oh, you must be in burst mode. There's a new feature I had the professor add to your research cameras. If you turn it on, the camera will take multiple photos in quick succession with one press of the shutter. It's very handy. You can turn it on and off from the settings menu. Give it a shot. Hey, it should come in handy.
Wow.
Man, Professor, you're almost as cool as my mentor. Wait 1 second, I'm going out on an expedition. Now, go and get back to your personal building your personal photo decks. Enjoy! Yeah, burst mode is very handy, and the course score thing is interesting, because it basically... Oh, here we go. The course score basically treats it as if you've never done a level before, so it's not about beating your previous scores for each star of Pokemon, it's just about getting as many high-scoring ones if it was your first run, except everything's unlocked, which is kind of cool.
Hey.
Okay, so what's the good news you were talking about? Oh, I bet you're itching to know. You're the one who brought it up. Okay, fair point. Anyway, I got the professor to go let us check out the reef in the evening. Oh, nice, right? I can't wait to see the sunset over the reef. It's going to be breathtaking. Yeah, that'll make for some sweet photos. I call first trip. Hey, no fair. This is just so much teasing what we're going to get next time. Professor, you look really happy. Did something good happen? Oh, there you are. Excellent timing. You see, I was re-examining the results of our survey so far, and I found new teleportation points. Belusilva, Mighty Wide River. One of them is near the jungle on Belusilva Island. The other is on Volcure Island, just beyond the desert. Awesome, but haven't we already researched those islands? That's the exciting thing about research like this. You can discover something new every day. I'd imagine the ecosystems on the same island would be similar to each other, but you never know. Well, we'll be the ones looking into it. That's right, I'm counting on you.
That's right.
I've heard one of these places might be a bit nostalgic for me. I think this will turn out to be a really fun expedition. Alright, I'm going to take a ton of photos there too. And there we go, we researched all areas in the Lental region, and with that, we will end the episode. I'll just show how much new shit there is. Visualizer, new area unlocked, all of that stuff that comes when you beat Aurus Illumina spot, so that is Maricopa Reef in the evening, Barren Badlands in the day, and Mighty Wide River in the day. The other ones we actually don't technically unlock yet. I had in my notes that they all come from beating Aurus Island, and that's how the visualizer looks. But in fact, the nighttime ones in the river and the Badlands will come, I presume, from beating the day ones. So, I hope you join me next time where we'll explore those areas. Thank you very much, and good day.